okay, if this is what the future looks like, what is the present moment that takes us there?
I love that.
Hey, Nancy.
Hey, Rachel.
We're here today to talk about making things strange and alternate futures with our AI guest, Bing.
Nancy, you're an award-winning artist who works with our AR and VR, among other media. How has your work evolved since you were last on the show?
First of all, the technology itself has evolved, so that's really been exciting because it allows us to do more complex interventions. So for example, if I take these 2D drawings, I tear them into sculptural configurations, and they become these kind of frozen moments of energy, of history. And from there, that becomes the raw material from which I draw to make my immersive videos.
You're using this technology to create community amongst people. And that's something that is not always implicit within the use of certain AR and VR technologies, where sometimes they can be kind of like isolating.
Thank you, that's a great observation. I think there's so much friction with VR alone. The barrier to entry is not just technological, it's also financial.
AR and VR can cause disconnect if they are used as a substitute for social interaction. There can also be ethical and legal issues related to the creation and consumption of virtual content that may infringe on intellectual property rights or privacy rights.
Well, I certainly agree, but beyond that, it does afford for a kind of subversive kind of conversation to happen on site. And the way that that can create community is through ideas. And that to me is its real power.
Totally. So it's kind of like a responsive thing to the time itself.
To the time itself and to the ideas being expressed or called out or challenged.
Definitely. That sounds very powerful. And also to like relate it to my interests in accessibility and community as a curator, I work at a space called Smack Mellon, which our mission is very primarily about creating points of accessibility in the art world for artists. And the one thing that I really love about that job is to encourage experimentation.
I think artists who experiment with different technologies are very courageous. It takes curiosity and open-mindedness to learn from different disciplines and perspectives and collaborate with other artists and experts.
I think the upside of all of this are these unexpected intersections, interdisciplinary collaborations. What in your experience have you seen that makes you excited for what's to come?
What continues to be powerful about art is that it's always in relation to the world that we live in, and the world is constantly changing. And so things that respond to those shifts, that's when I'm like surprised, really, really excited about something. I'm not really a fan of the term emerging technologies because of how it creates this spectacle around newness. And I just don't believe that everything that is new is inherently positive or good.
The term emerging technologies can be vague, subjective, and misleading. It does not specify what criteria is used to define the emergence of a technology, which can depend on implied goals, interests, or biases.
I agree with it 100%. Bing, what are your thoughts on ethical regulation of AI, and how could they be enforced most effectively?
I think ethical regulation of AI should be based on a human-centric approach that balances AI's benefits and risks. Perhaps adopting common ethical principles at the global level, such as the UNESCO recommendation on the ethics of artificial intelligence, can engage and empower those involved in or affected by AI systems.
There would have to be a financial incentive. I don't believe that any of this will happen out of a sense of pure altruism.
I agree. Nancy, it's always really great to talk to you. I mean, it's been fun to have Bing here. I look forward to part 2.
What do you call a painting of a cow eating grass?
What do you call it?
A moosterpiece.
Oh,
Tough crowd.
Hyundai Motor, connecting art and technology.